This summer, enjoy less doggy paddle and more paddle shifter. Less summer heat and more wind in your hair. Less belly flop and more heart-racing sensations. Find more thrills this summer at the Lexus Golden Opportunity Sales Event. Get offers on our select exhilarating vehicles. But hurry, the opportunity ends September 3rd. Experience amazing at your Lexus dealer.
If you're an athlete, you know the greatest motivator of all is the fear of letting your teammates down. After all, a team is only as good as its weakest link. So you owe it to those wearing the same jersey as you to be your best every time you step on the field. That's why there's no vape in team. When you vape, you can expose your lungs to toxic chemicals that can damage your lungs. If you're a step behind, the team's a step behind. Brought to you by The Real Cost and the FDA.
Savage Real talk, no filter on Savaged Unfiltered. Savaged.
Hey guys, welcome to Savaged Unfiltered Show. I'm your host, Savage here. Wow, guys. Where to start? This has been an amazing journey here for myself. Just basically giving out information, news, all that stuff, guys. Been doing it for about maybe, 5 years. Just about 6 years, right, Producer Shaky? Yeah, about 5-6 years. No stranger to the radio industry, guys. I started out with terrestrial radio up in New York City about 20 years ago. So liked what I was doing up there, but I wanted to branch out my voice, guys, and bring it to a higher horizon, right? A higher reach. And I think that's why a lot of us have gone into the podcasting industry from old talk radio. I think the reach, you get a higher reach with podcasting. That's just my opinion. I think others can agree with me in the same industry. But guys, before we start, I always like to get in people, companies that give us like great views and reviews, and they sponsor the crap out of this show. Really, I want to say thank you very much to some amazing companies. First, I want to say thank you to Blackout Coffee. It's literally the coffee for America's Warriors. If you use this promo code today, guys, Savaged, you're going to get 15% off your order. That's right, guys. A little gift from the show here to you, the listener. Scan this QR code today. It's on iPhone and Android devices, and you're going to get all great savings as an exclusive deal from us to you. Really fresh coffee, guys. You're not going to get the oily residue. You're not going to get the jitter crash after you would normally drink regular coffee. This coffee is available in Keurig cups as well as the regular grind in the bag. So you have a lot of options. Check them out today at blackoutcoffee.com. Back to the show, guys. I have a gentleman here that has been checking out the show. He has been showing some appreciation to some of our live streams here on X and some of our generalized content here. So I do want to say thank you for the support. I want to say thank you for him coming on the show, which we're going to bring up momentarily. But he wants to talk about an issue, a couple issues actually. I noticed that he had sent us an image here to our X account regarding 9/11 and the moon. I want to get some of his views on this because I find it a little fascinating on the content and the material that he presented to us on the show. I'm always fascinated with people with their views and thoughts towards some of these issues to this day in America that we still remember, with 9/11, with the moon landings in the 60s and 70s through NASA, now transitioned into SpaceX. But without further ado, I want to introduce him to the world here. This is Ryan. Welcome to the show, Ryan. How you doing, buddy?
Thank you so much. I'm good. How are you? Thank you for
I'm doing
having
fine.
me.
I'm doing fine.
Thank you for having me, and
Thank you
your shows
for being
and
part
live
of the show.
streams.
Yes.
Yes. And
Yeah,
I'm gonna say
I
something you
appreciate that,
may edit it.
Ryan.
Yes, I'm gonna say something you may edit it if you want, but I usually urge people to avoid caffeine in general. Caffeine, including, of course, coffee and tea, because the caffeine is very dangerous to the human health, and that's it. And but
Okay. Oh well, you know.
yes, if you're
Well,
advertising,
I was gonna say, Ryan.
yes.
Yeah, 1 second. I know there's a delay because of where you reside and everything. But I was gonna say, like you may say that, but most Americans here in the United States, we love our coffee. But I do appreciate your feedback. I really do.
Okay, thanks. Okay, yes.
So you have a comment here on the show with the 9/11, right, and the moon landings from the 60s and 70s. Let's start with 9/11.
Yes, first of all,
there was a comment.
yes.
Yeah, go ahead, sir.
Yes, first of all, 9/11 is a major crime. It's forbidden. It's a crime. It's considered as a crime, a big crime in Islam, because it's forbidden in Islam to attack innocent people, even if they are not Muslims. And this is clear in the verse number in the Holy Quran 2, verse number 190. 190. And but the 9/11 was maybe the most famous news worldwide in current times. Maybe each human on the planet knew about this news. It was very famous. Everybody knew about it. So therefore, no wonder if the Holy Quran pointed out this incident, this news, to this news for 1,400 years. It's not an endorsement of this crime. No, it is only a miracle from God, because this is known to all people. 9/11 is known to all people. Therefore, it's good for all people to know that God knows about this. 1,400 years knew about this. This is a proof for God. This is a proof that Islam is the truth, and the Holy Quran is the word of God, because it's impossible for any creature to know about this will happen for 1,400 before for 1,400 years. How did the Holy Quran pointed out to this? It's very clear in the image I have sent to you. If you want to show it, or I will read it as you like. Would you like?
What's 2FA security on Kraken? Let's say I'm captaining my soccer team, and we're up by a goal against, I don't know, Soda Springs FC. Do we relax? No way. Time to create an extra line of defense and protect that lead. That's like 2FA on Kraken, a surefire way to keep what you already have, safe and sound. Go to kraken.com and see what crypto can be. Not investment advice. Crypto trading involves risk of loss. Cryptocurrency services are provided to U.S. and U.S. territory customers by Payward Interactive Inc., PWI DBA Kraken. View PWI's disclosures at kraken.com/legal/disclosures.
All right, next up, we got a fresh and fruity track coming at you from Welch's. This one's for everyone out there, fruiting stuff up.
Fruity, rockin' everywhere, rockin' everywhere, rockin' everywhere. I found you, Miss Real Fruity. Juice it up, then bring it back to me.
Welch's, fruiting up your day. Thank y'all for tuning in, and thanks to Welch's for bringing us that big, bold, delicious flavor. Made with real fruit for a taste as bold as you.
Welch's, let's fruit stuff up.
This episode is brought to you by Vital Farms. Vital Farms is keeping it bullshit-free. Pasture-raised eggs means their hens enjoy outdoor access year-round while foraging on a buffet of local grasses. You can even find the farm name of where the eggs were laid on the side of each carton. Vital Farms knows you'll taste the difference of eggs made with fresh air and sunshine. Look for the black carton at the grocery store and learn more at vitalfarms.com.
Okay, would you like me to read it? read the part about 9/11?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, because the image that you sent us here on the show, you got into numbers here, and I noticed there was one thing that kind of stuck out that kind of caught my attention, sir, where it says the U.S. government says that the attacks were launched by 19 men, which is accurate, and the numbers here are 11, 9, 2. And 110 and 19. Now, what are those numbers in reference to?
Yes,
Ryan.
yes. If you pick a copy of a paper copy of the Holy Quran, and you go to part 11, because the Holy Quran is 30 parts, equal parts. Each part is about 20 pages in Arabic, but in English translations it's different number of pages, of course. If you go to part number 11, then you will find this part. You will find surah, which is a chapter of the Quran is called surah. So surah number 9. It is with part number 11. Are together. You will find in this place, which is surah number 9, part number 11, chapter number 9. You will find the verse number 110, talking about contains the root of the word building 2 times. So when you finish this verse number 110, you will find the remaining, the rest of the verses in this surah, this chapter, are 19 verses. So to complete this chapter, you have to read more 19 verses, then you complete this chapter. So the numbers, as you hear now, and as you see, of course, in the image, are the same numbers of the event, the crime of 9/11, because 9 is the number of the month September, and 11 is the number of the day, and the 2 buildings. Most of the news were concentrating on the 2 buildings, the 2 towers. The Twin Towers, and they were 110. They were 110 stories tall, of course. And the men who launched that crime were 19. They were planning to be 20, but one of them missed the plane. Then only 19 got in the planes, and they did the crime. This is, of course, yes. This is, of course, despite the controversial or the about whether it is an inside job or not. I don't know. This is God knows. Only God knows who did it. Yani.
Right. You mentioned something about 9 and 11. Now, in the United States, we have three numerals, 911, folks. Now, for emergency purposes, if something were to happen and you obviously needed to contact your local authorities or your first responders and that, you would dial 911, right? And you would get a live operator that would state, what's your emergency, sir, ma'am, and they would go from there. Now, these hijackers, Ryan, that orchestrated this attack, did they choose those numerals on purpose, 911, which was also stated as 9/11? Did they do that on purpose to orchestrate the whole 9/11 emergency from that, or was that just a coincidence?
I don't know, and I didn't think so. And they were even planning to be 20, not 19, but one of them missed the plane. I don't know. I don't think they were planning about anything regarding this image. I don't think they noticed the two verses about the two building, the route of the two buildings, etc. And I don't think they planned about 9/11 because it's the number of the emergency or the police, etc. I don't think so. Maybe yes, maybe not, but I don't think so.
Well, this wasn't the first. This wasn't the first attack on American soil. They have tried to attack the Twin Towers in New York City once before, and they failed, actually. They also tried to attack other buildings, and they failed. So this was an attempted attack, and they actually succeeded in the early 2000s and 2001. But you mentioned a lot of biblical... Go ahead, sir.
I want to add something that is not in the image. Someday one person said to me, but the 9/11 attacked 8 buildings, not only 2 towers, Twin Towers. I said yes, but that Twin Towers were the most famous in the news, and they were the most important to buildings because they were destroyed completely, and they were huge. But I told him something interesting. I said, let's see the verses. The verse number 109 also contains the root of the world building 2 times.
Sign up to The Economist for in-depth curated expert analysis of world events and topics ranging from business and culture to science and technology. You'll get the weekly digital edition, online-only articles, curated newsletters on politics, the markets, science, culture and China, and full access to The Economist Podcast Plus. The Economist is independent journalism for independent thinking. Go to economist.com and get your first month free.
Have a question or need how-to advice? Just ask Meta AI. Whether you need to summarize your class notes or want to create a recipe with the ingredients you already have in your fridge, Meta AI has the answers. You can also research topics, explore interests, and so much more. It's the most advanced AI at your fingertips. Expand your world with Meta AI. Now on Instagram, WhatsApp, Facebook, and Messenger.
This episode is brought to you by Buffalo Trace Distillery. Powerful yet smooth. Contained but never tame. Proudly going their own way, but never going alone. This is the spirit inside Buffalo Trace Bourbon. Made at Buffalo Trace Distillery, the world's most award-winning distillery. Buffalo Trace is always perfectly untamed. Distilled, aged, and bottled by Buffalo Trace Distillery, Franklin County, Kentucky. 90 proof, 45% alcohol by volume. Learn more at buffalotracedistillery.com. Please drink responsibly.
So we have now 2 verses besides each other, which is 109, 110. Each one of them has the root of the building. My cat is making me busy now. Anyway, yes, the two verses. Each one has the root of the word building 2 times. So we have now 4 times in 2 verses, and when we make 4 to 2, the result is 8. I don't know how to say it in English, maybe, but you know what in mathematics. Let me say.
Right.
Try to translate. Yes. In mathematics, when you put 4 and how you say it? I don't know.
I see what you're saying. You're coming up with some really valuable points, guys. On today's show, you're hearing a gentleman that goes by the name of Ryan, and we're getting into some really, really factual stuff here about 9/11, September 11th attacks in 2001. That happened up in New York City all those years ago. And some of the stuff you're hearing, guys, to some of the listeners out here, some of this stuff has never been spoken about. And I really appreciate some of your knowledge towards this, Ryan. I really do. But I want to change the gear here a little bit and go into something that you also brought up which I found very
Yes,
fascinating.
but I wanna end the previous one with the last sentence. I wanted to say multiply by 4, I mean multiply 4 by 2. The result is
Right.
8. So yes, even this way, we can say that the Holy Quran pointed out to the 8 buildings, because the two verses who are besides each other, 109 and 110, contains the root of the word building four times, and when we multiply 4 by 2, the result is 8. Yes. Now,
Right.
do you mean?
Yeah,
Do you want to go to the moon? The moon?
Yeah.
Yes.
Before we depart off, Ryan, folks, I some of my listeners, Ryan, I do want to express this, because you're coming up with some mathematics, and it does make sense. Some of it is biblical, some of it is factual information, where you actually have a picture, guys. If you go over to his not his website, but his Twitter page, his X account, he actually posted this picture where it says, and 310 divided by 36 equals 8.611. Exactly. So basically what I'm trying to say is, so that's like the 36th word in Quran 53:9, which is the Arabic word, which means 2 bows. So what does the word 2 bows have to do with the serious modern scientific facts? Ryan, I want to get into that with you, buddy. What is that? Where's this back mathematics mean? Because I noticed that it said, note that the Sirius B wasn't even discovered until 31 of January of 1862, which was the glory of the Almighty God. Is that linked to some of the moon landings in the 60s and 70s, sir? Or what's your thoughts on that?
Are you talking about the second image?
Yeah.
Not the first one?
Yes, sir. Yeah, I'm talking about the image that you posted where it says Sirius A, and then there's an image between Sirius A orbit and then Sirius B orbit.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Okay, the image, yes, the image. Okay, this is as you see it in the image. If you wanna show the images on your screen, it's okay.
Right.
But I have said in this image, and if you divide 310, this is 310 is the total of the number of words in this chapter. This chapter, which is chapter number 53 in the Holy Quran, it contains 310 words. If you divide it on the number 36, which is the number of the word 2 bows, okay.
Right.
In Arabic, 2 bows are 1 word. The result is 8.611.
Oh,
and
wow.
This is between Sirius and Air. And this is very amazing.
Oh.
Welcome to the Flash Finds podcast, the world's fastest podcast where we explore how Facebook can help you with the stuff you're into. I'm your host, Emma Rogue, and today I'm with creator and chef Chris Cho. Chris, what do people get out of your reels?
So people are super intimidated when they want to first try cooking Korean food, but through Facebook Reels, I make it super fun and easy and accessible within a 30 to 60 second video.
Reels is the cheat code. Thanks, Chris. See you next time on the Flash Finds podcast, all about discovering the stuff on Facebook you care about. Bye.
Hear that? That's what cooked when you order juicy beef sounds like. The steaming hug of 2 slices of melted cheese, the crunch of tangy pickles and sliced onions, all topped with a toasted sesame seed bun. That's the sound of a McDonald's Quarter Pounder with cheese.
Fresh beef at participating U.S. McDonald's. Excludes Alaska, Hawaii, and U.S. territories. Hurry in to Whole Foods Market for their best of season fruit. The Sweet Summer Days sales event is on through July 30th with juicy savings on organic blueberries, organic strawberries, red cherries, and more. Like grill-ready, no antibiotics ever meats and sustainable wild-caught seafood. Explore aisles of fruity finds you can't get anywhere else, including seasonal favorites like peach Berry pie in the bakery. Sweeten up your summer at Whole Foods Market.
You know, Ryan, do you think a lot of your information that you're saying here on the show, sir? A lot of this is, I mean, it almost sounds biblical. It almost sounds like it was already, predetermined to happen. Whether you believe in God, folks, or you believe in spiritual messages, it almost is linked towards a spiritual message. Like these things happened on purpose because it came from the Word of God. You know, with the moon landings, the 9/11 attacks. Is there more events in the future that you know of or that you could speak of that may come into our existence that is, that's biblical, that has prophets behind them at all, Ryan? Or
Well, I think the Holy Quran, generally, it's difficult to discover its prophecies until it happens. Why? Let's take an example about Apollo 11. Let's suppose the Holy Quran, the prophecy in the Holy Quran was clear about 9/11, the Apollo 11, and it's so maybe NASA will know. The Holy Quran is saying that Apollo 11 or the first human landing will be on the 20th of July. So maybe NASA will change their mind and pick up another date. So it's difficult yes.
Yeah, we can never tell because NASA has evolved into what we call it SpaceX now, and they have some of the fascinating forms of technology that I've seen, through the space launches and stuff like that on TV and through social media. Some of the most modern forms of technology through space exploration. Really, folks, if you want to say something, I'm going to say something here on the show. I think a lot of us here in the world are living through very, very interesting times through a lot of modern technology when it comes to space. But Ryan, I do want to thank you for coming on, sir. I really want to, show my appreciation and support to some of your research and some of your information that you stated on the show. And thank you very much for following us as well too here. Again, guys, you heard a gentleman here, Ryan, here on the show, for expressing a lot behind the 9/11 attacks and some of the moon landings in the 60s and 70s with the Apollo missions and stuff. Ryan, thank you very much, buddy. Before I depart with you. If they want to know more information about this, I know you're on X. Is there any other websites that I can plug in here so some of the people, some of my listeners can find out a little bit more about you, sir?
Well, there is a link in my bio, so you only tell them about my username on X. And they can find my username and they will see the bio and will see the link, which is a movie I wrote. But this movie is not an ordinary movie. It is full of miracles and scientific evidence and proofs, and it's a very interesting one. And I hope everybody will find it interesting too.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you very much, Ryan. Take it easy, buddy, and God bless you, sir.
You too.
Alrighty. Guys, you just heard a gentleman that goes by the name of Ryan here on the show. Fascinating individual. You can check him out on Twitter at RyanWY42. If you forgot what I just said, guys, don't worry. We will put in the show notes for you guys to check him out. He's got a lot of fascinating stuff that he's coming up with. We've been communicating back and forth through X with a couple of his posting that he has there. He also has a link that you just heard here on the show, the program here, about a movie that he had created, which is actually 100% free inside his link, which we will also put in the show notes here on our audio end, including our Rumble feed, with justpaste.it/ZY. Again, folks, if you missed it, I will put it in the show notes for your viewing pleasures and leisures. It is called justpaste.it/ZY. Again, guys, thank you very much for dropping by here on the show, Savaged Unfiltered. And as always, guys, if you want to know anything more about the show, I highly suggest some of my listeners and new listeners to check out our website, upper left-hand corner, if you're viewing us on video here, whether it's the Spotify app or Rumble, including X here. Scan this QR code, www.savagedunfiltered.com. All of our content, including our material, can be found there, guys. Thanks very much for dropping by. I'm Savage, and like I always say, guys, till next time, be savage, not average. Take it easy, guys.